entrepreneurs usually cite access to capital as a barrier to starting a business. I know you were once denied a bank loan that you desperately needed. What is the wisdom you can share with entrepreneurs to overcome their finance hurdles?
I think sometimes the banks need to be reassured, and the reassurance is how well are we banking our revenue? Sometimes with businesses where you have a lot of small cash coming in on a daily basis, there's a tendency for that cash not to be banked in some cases. If you can do that, then it can help the banks to have faith in your ability to repay. I think relationships are important yet again. For us to have that facility, it was somebody who knocked on somebody's door. My mentor picked up the phone and called the MD of the bank and said, you know, listen to this story. I believe in what she's doing and I want you to. Sometimes people just need to do that sponsoring, right?
You know?
And just open those doors. And that's exactly what she did. Yeah. And she coached me and said, you know, these are the questions she's going to be asking you. Make sure to answer this way and that way, because when you answer this way, then you can get his attention. And it was great to be able to see that, yet again, this was a banker who was committed to small businesses, but I was fortunate to have access to his ear at that time to be able to get that access.
How do we undermine? I always say, no matter how successful you think somebody is, you can always still help. And even successful people are always receptive to help.
Yes.
So having a sponsor is always welcomed.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely. And I say to people sometimes, as I've grown also, because to whom much is given, much is also required. If you're someone whose doors have been opened for, you need to be able to open doors for other people. And many times I realize that when I network, I'm more deliberate about networking, because many times the connections you're making are not just for you, they're for somebody else.
Yes.
And so I'm more intentional in how I network, because I'm thinking outside of just me and in particular.
And as women, I mean, the one thing that inspired me with our trip around Spain, that we had a session around the table as the four of us, and we said, this is unacceptable.
Yes, yes.
What are we going to start doing for each other? And we, you know.
Yeah, it's nice that we travel. It's nice that we call each other and have nice chats on our WhatsApp group and take pictures and send about the weather and when we are. But it's also important that those relationships are beneficial, economically beneficial. Yes. So if I see a board appointment coming up, I should be able to recommend that, oh, you know, you're looking for somebody international. This is my friend who I can vouch for that can join this board. You can also look for business opportunities for my products to be distributed in South Africa.
As I'm always.
Yes, yes. So it's great to have those conversations. But
because women spend time complaining that we don't help each other, and we can be deliberate about it and intentional.
Yeah, I'm more intentional about it. It may not come to us naturally, but I think we're intentional.
We can work at it.
Yeah.